Hi, Movie Chronicles here. Ever wondered what it would be like if humans would be trapped in the hypercube? Would the people be able to survive the hypercube and ever be able to resolve the equation of it? All will be answered in today's sci-fi and horror movie, Cube 2, Hypercube. The first scene features Becky Young, who is trapped in a cube compartment. She attempts to proceed to the next room, but the reverse gravity of the room drags her up. The rooms in the cube are designed to be changed regularly. Once left, one may or may not return to the same room. A room contains 6 portals that one can open with the touch of a hand. Through those portals, one can move from one room to another. In the following scene, a woman named Kate Fillmore approaches a man named Simon Grady by chance. They both appear perplexed as they have no idea how they got trapped in it. Kate enters the other room through another portal. When she tries to return to the same room, she discovers that it has already changed. Kate discovers a blind lady named Sasha in the other room. Sasha is terrified and begs Kate not to hurt her. When Kate notices this, she comforts her by saying she will not harm her. Simultaneously, another portal opens, and Jerry Whitehall approaches them. He claims that he had been wandering in various rooms for hours, thinking he was left alone. After seeing Kate and Sasha, Jerry expresses his relief. Jerry marks room number 4, claiming that he has labeled all the rooms he has entered. After a few moments, they notice the room moving and decide to go to the other room. Jerry selects and opens one of the portals. When he opens it, he sees Max Reisler holding an unconscious older man about to fall due to the changing gravity. All 3 of them rush to assist Max, while Simon enters through another portal and helps them as well. They all manage to save the older man and discover that he is a member of a defense department named Colonel Thomas H. McGuire. They also find that Colonel Thomas is being severely beaten, and Sasha assumes they will be next. Sasha becomes terrified, but Kate tries to reassure her. Meanwhile, another portal opens, and an elderly lady named Mrs. Paley enters. She appears to be trapped in the same cube as well. Suddenly, the room changes again, and Sasha senses that something is approaching them. Few moments later, a room wall begins compressing and crushing anything in its path. When they notice this, they all flee to the other room. Kate tries to help Colonel Thomas, but he is restrained by a steel bar. Simon repeatedly asks Kate to leave Thomas and to move on, but Kate, attempting to free him, the wall approaches and slowly crushes Thomas's legs. Kate becomes terrified when she notices this and rushes into the other room. They exit the room one after another, and Jerry marks each room as they do so. After they arrive at room number 10, where Jerry reveals that he designed the touch sensors portals of the same cube, the others are taken back after hearing this. Simon, frustrated, begins inquiring about the location, but Jerry does not know of it. Mrs. Paley notices a structure and tells them it's a tesseract during their argument. Jerry then explains that the tesseract is a 4-dimensional hypercube with a dynamic shape, but he still has no idea how to escape. Simultaneously, they notice a number, 60,659, written on the ceiling. They believe the hypercube has 60,659 rooms. After some time, Max opens another portal and discovers Julia lying down. When Max tries to enter the room, the varying gravity pulls him in the opposite direction. Everyone enters the room slowly, one by one. Julia is oblivious to how she got there. Following that, they each share what they remember just before entering the hypercube, one by one. Meanwhile, Jerry discovers a watch that is identical to what he is wearing. He is surprised to see that the watch has the same message as what he is wearing. Mrs. Paley soon opens one of the portals and discovers a dead man in the other room. They rush into the room to find several equations written on his body. Mrs. Paley recognizes the dead body and informs him that he is Dr. Rosenwig, a theoretical physicist who has been nominated for a Nobel Prize. They come across the same number, 60,659, and consider memorizing it. So Kate writes the number in her forearm. Mrs. Paley, on the other hand, appears to have dementia. As a result, she begins searching for her dog. During this, Mrs. Paley reveals that she is a retired theoretical mathematician who worked for a weapons manufacturer called Izon. Mrs. Paley also mentions Alex Trusk. According to Max and Simon, Alex is a professional computer hacker, and only he could create such a hypercube. Mrs. Paley's revelation have taken them all by surprise. Mrs. Paley enters one of the portals, searching for her dog, but instead of finding her dog, she finds a duplicate of herself asking for help. Simultaneously, another copy of Simon attacks her from behind, and a crystal beam turns into pieces. When they notice this, they are all terrified. Following this, Jerry claims that all these events are occurring due to a parallel universe. No one believes him, and Max claims it's all a trick of the light. When Jerry hears this, he asks Max to open the portal, but Simon refuses because he is scared after seeing his duplicate's head cut off. They all then decide to keep moving to the other rooms to find the way out. Except for Jerry and Simon, they all get tired after walking through several rooms and fall asleep in one of them. Simon reveals that he is a private investigator and is searching for a woman named Becky Young. Becky, according to Simon, also worked for Izon. Soon after, Sasha awakens and informs everyone that she believes she has heard something inappropriate. They all discover a floating square structure in the middle of the room. The square gradually transforms into a 4-dimensional hypercube and attacks them. As a result, they open up the other portal and begin to flee one by one, but the hypercube expands and sucks Jerry inside, killing him. Kate discovers that Sasha cannot join them in their escape, so she decides to save her. Then Simon enters the other room while the portal closes. He immediately opens up the same door, only discovering that the room has changed. Kate, on the other hand, manages to reach Sasha. Kate discovers that the hypercube reacts to their movements, so she and Sasha remain motionless in one corner until the hypercube stops moving. The cube shrinks and vanishes a few moments later. After that, they both flee to the other room. Simon ties up Mrs. Paley in the other room and threatens to kill her if she doesn't tell the truth. Max and Julia attempt to stop him, but he also points the knife at them. Mrs. Paley, on the other hand, has no recollection of anything and talks about trivial matters. At the same time, the crystal beam appears as they had seen before, which frightens them all. As the crystal beam approaches them, Julia and Max flee to the other room. Simon tries to save Mrs. Paley, but it's too late. He decides to leave her and escape, but Mrs. Paley holds him tightly and does not let him go. To free himself, Simon stabs her with the knife and flees to the other room. Max and Julia escape to the other room, leaving Simon behind. A few moments later, Jerry enters the room where Simon is present. Jerry has no memory of the previous event. Simon tries to jog Jerry's memory by telling him about the parallel world and other things, but Jerry has no idea what he's talking about. Simon goes insane and murders Jerry. A few moments later, he hears a noise from the other room, and when he opens the portal, he finds another Jerry duplicate. Simon enters the room and murders the other Jerry as well. Simon eventually finds Becky Young and murders her too. On the other hand, Max and Julia continue to pass through the portals. Throughout this, Max repeatedly mentions Alex Trusk. They come to halt in one room. Max reveals his secret to Julia, saying that he designed a game called Relativity, in which contestants battle in a 3-dimensional environment. He claims that a company called Cyber Thrill stole his game. After hearing this, Julia claims that Izon owns Cyber Thrill and reveals that she represents them. Following this, they begin to have a romantic relationship with each other. In the next scene, Kate and Sasha discover several dead bodies in one of the rooms. Sasha loses hope, but Kate reassures her that she will figure it out. Sasha asserts that if she couldn't figure it out, how could Kate? After hearing this, Kate inquires as to her true identity. Finally, Sasha reveals her true identity as Alex Trusk. Kate is taken back now that she knows this. Kate claims she is the one who created the hypercube and gave it to Izon. She refused to participate in the experiment because she knew Izon would use humans as guinea pigs. Izon members attempted to kill her, so she escaped inside the hypercube to save herself. She adds it's all over, but Kate refuses to die. Kate enters the other room and discovers Colonel Thomas's dead body hanging from the ceiling. She also finds all of Jerry's substantial room numbers and the equations in a single room. Kate questions Sasha about it, and Sasha responds that all parallel worlds will collide. Out of fear, Kate begins to open all the portals, but she cannot find a way out. In one of the portals, she encounters Simon armed with a knife and tries to kill Kate. On the other hand, Kate snatches the knife from his grasp and stabs it into Simon's eye. She discovers the same stabbed Simon behind Sasha as soon as the portal closes. Simon takes Sasha's body into custody, telling Kate that he has been waiting for vengeance for a long time. Kate is perplexed because she stabbed him a few seconds ago. Kate asks Simon to release Sasha, but he refuses and murders Sasha. He then begins to walk towards Kate. She tries to flee to the other room, but she finds Simon there. Kate then fights Simon and eventually manages to kill him. After his death, Kate discovers 4 watches belonging to Jerry, indicating that he murdered Jerry in 4 different dimensions. She checks the time and finds that the time is 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 2 seconds. She then realizes that the number 60,659 is none other than the time of the expiration of the hypercube. As the time approaches, the hypercube begins to fade and collapse. Kate then takes away the locket containing all of the data from Sasha's neck. At 6 hours, 6 minutes, and 59 seconds, jumps through a black hole in the cube's bottom. A few moments later, she finds herself floating above the water. Izon's employees pick her up and transport her to their boss. The boss initially admires her for surviving the hypercube. She hands over the locket to the boss, and as soon as she does so, she is shot to death. Soon after, the boss receives a call from his superior, to whom he informs that Phase 2 has been terminated. And here the movie ends. For more unique and fascinating movies that you may not even have heard about, click on the videos on your screen. Also, do subscribe, like, and comment. Your one act will make a huge difference to us.